Hey friends, welcome back to Homemade Homestead and welcome to my kitchen. Yay, we're in the kitchen again. So if you are new around here, my name is Rachel and I love to bring you guys yummy recipes and also grocery hauls. We do gardening here. We even raise our own animals for meat and stuff. So I hope you guys would subscribe if you haven't already. So it's just the little button down below and don't forget to hit that bell. So today I'm so excited to bring you one of my favorites. This is a banana bread recipe. This delicious, healthy version of banana bread. Let me show you the list of ingredients that we'll need today to make it. So we're gonna need some buttermilk, but I like to just use regular milk because I don't keep buttermilk on hand. So I'm just gonna use regular milk with also some lemon juice. And then I have 6 bananas. That's one of the awesome things about this recipe is it uses a lot of bananas because I don't know if you guys are like me, but when my family decides not to eat bananas, it's not like we have 2 left, we have a bunch left. So this uses 6 ripe bananas, and instead of using sugar, we are using honey as our sweetener of choice. We're gonna need 3 eggs, and my chickens aren't laying very many right now, so I have just some store-bought eggs. Then we're gonna need some baking soda. I just like to keep it in this canister. I find it in a 50-pound bag at my mill, that sells animal feed and everything. So if you're having a hard time finding baking soda, you could always try there. They usually sell it in a huge, like I said, 50-pound bag. So I just keep a little bit in this, and then the rest I keep in a 5-gallon bucket. So that's the baking soda. We're also gonna need some salt. And you can just do cinnamon and vanilla extract. I like to add a little bit of almond extract. I feel like it bumps up the flavor profile a little bit more, and then also some nutmeg. But again, if you don't have these, you can totally just do cinnamon and vanilla or mix and match whatever you like. It's your kitchen. Use the flavors that you enjoy. And then we need some flour. I'm using some organic whole wheat flour, and this is just ground. But use what flour you have. All right, so that's the list of ingredients. Now let's get these measured up and put into our bowls. I am separating by having a wet bowl and a dry ingredients bowl. You don't have to do this, and sometimes I don't because I just didn't wanna, dirty 2 bowls. But I do feel like you kind of get a better result when you separate it. So to make the buttermilk or the soured milk, I'm gonna take my measuring cup and I'm gonna put a little bit of lemon juice down in the bottom. Like somewhere between a teaspoon and a tablespoon. What you're doing is that acid will actually curdle your milk. So I'm gonna go up to that 1 cup line, and I'm just gonna set this aside while I get all my other ingredients in my bowl. And that way it gives it a chance to curdle. I saw that lemon juice and I decided to make myself a lemonade. So good. I just do a little bit of that lemon juice, some water, and some stevia. It's quite refreshing. It's like 100 degrees today, even though it seems like fall is just around the corner. Anyway, let's get to mixing. So in my big bowl, I'm gonna add 3 cups of my whole wheat flour. Again, use whatever flour you want. I've made this with just normal white flour, but again, we're making this a healthier version. And then to my flour, I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of the baking soda, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I don't normally measure the cinnamon, but I'll try to measure it for you guys. Let's see, I think 1 teaspoon looks about good. And I'm gonna do this same 1 teaspoon with the nutmeg as well. Let's see. Now, that's a flavor of fall to me. Oh my goodness, that smells so good. Just gonna give this a little whisk. Make sure that baking soda is all incorporated. Just gonna move this to the side. In my next bowl, I'm going to put in my 6 bananas and I'm gonna mash them. Are you guys ready for fall? Does it feel like fall to you where you live? Today, it feels like it just goes back and forth. Like we were in the hundreds, but then in a few days, we're gonna be down into the 60s. It's just kind of crazy weather. But I'm kind of ready for the fall. I love fall. It's one of my favorite times of year. I love the change in seasons. Oh, and I love the beautiful fall colors of the leaves changing. I like to go up to the mountains and go up and see the fall leaves. To my bananas, I'm gonna add in my wet ingredients. So I'm gonna start with cracking 3 eggs. Let me know down in the comments below, do you put your eggshells back in? Do you take them out, throw them away? How do you store your eggs? I always take mine out and throw it away. I don't know why. And if they're homegrown eggshells, then I actually feed them back to my chickens. I like to use a spatula. I feel like the whisk kind of gums up in my banana mixture, so that's why I'm using just a scraper. All right, next I'm gonna add in my honey. And also my curdled milk. You can see it actually kind of goes a little lumpy. That's what we want. Not spoiled milk. This is just the curdled milk. Okay, and then lastly, I'm gonna add in my 2 extracts. I always just use the cap as my measurement. I'm just gonna use a cap of the almond and about a 1/2 cap of the vanilla. And my cap for the almond is smaller, so it's probably like a 1/2 teaspoon and probably 1 teaspoon. If you missed any of the measurements, I'm gonna type out the recipe at the very end of this video too. Oh, that smells so good. I love the smell of the almond extract. Now I'm gonna pour my wet ingredients right over top of my dry. All right, that looks good and mixed. You could add nuts to this. I've done crushed almonds before. You could do walnuts, pecans. You choose if you want to add anything to it now. I'm gonna leave it how it is today, but feel free to add your nuts, and this is when you'd add them in. You just throw them in and then kind of fold them in. So this recipe makes 2 loaf pans, or I've even done it in a 9x13 pan, but it is gonna cook faster in that. And I'm gonna grease my pans with some coconut oil. I just like to put a Ziploc baggie. This is just a sandwich size on my hand. And I kind of just dig in here, get a little bit of coconut oil, and I just rub it all over the pan. You could totally use a glove if you want to rub this all over. But in lieu of a glove, this works just as well. All right, now I'm just gonna divide my batter as evenly as I can into my 2 pans. What is your guys' fall favorite treat to bake when it starts to get cooler? I love to do banana bread. Ooh, some apple recipes. I love to do apple crisp because we're about to go apple picking this week, and so I love all the apple things. Apple pie. All right, my oven is preheated to 350 degrees. We're gonna pop both of these loaf pans into our oven at 350 for 45 to 60 minutes. You're gonna check the middle with a toothpick or a knife and make sure it comes out clean, and then they'll be ready to go. So once they come out of the oven, I I let them sit in their pans for a total of 10 minutes just to bring the temperature down. Even though I grease the pan, I'm still gonna just go around the edge with a knife just to loosen up any bits. And then I'm just gonna turn it right out onto my cooling rack. Well, that is the finished product. Thank you guys so much for joining me today in my kitchen. I hope you give this recipe a try. It's definitely a family favorite. Let me know down in the comments below, what do you guys like to bake now that it's starting to be fall time? And I hope you guys have a great day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye now.